But in between our lunch and this session, there is another item on the agenda. That is a statement from Jill, who I put out the topic, but Jill can elaborate. JillHelke, IOM.
Thank you very much. My name is JillHelke, and I'm from IOM headquarters in Geneva, and I was asked to present briefly on the international conference coming up that's called Habitat 3, taking place in Quito next month. These Habitat conferences are an opportunity to renew political commitment at all levels on urban development strategies, and cities have much to gain from this intergovernmental consensus, which is a basis for local, regional and national authorities to strengthen the clarity of roles, complementarity of responsibilities and resources, topics that have been raised this morning. Habitat 3 will be one of the first United Nations global summits after the adoption of the SDGs and the new climate change agreement following the conference in Paris. It also follows the World Humanitarian Summit in Istanbul in May this year, which also had an urban track. These processes are key frameworks of sustainable development and a more holistic approach to crisis response and mitigation and migration is a common element of all. At the city level, operational guidelines can turn all these broad policies into practice in a coherent and efficient way. Ultimately, the extent to which migration is integrated into local policy planning will determine how well human mobility can positively impact cities. Preparations for the conference in Quito in October have been extensive, and the UN task team has been playing a key supportive role over the last 2 years. 22 issues papers have been written, 6 urban dialogues have taken place, 11 regional and thematic conferences, regional reports, and 10 policy paper frameworks have been produced. IOM has been providing comments and guidance to states and partners throughout the process. The Habitat 3 conference and the discussion about the implementation of the new urban agenda, which it will adopt, offer opportunities to raise awareness around 2 particular migration issues. First, that migration is a key driver of cities' growth, and second, that migrants are indeed individuals with specific needs during times of crisis, but they can also be agents of development when the right policies are put in place. We commend the new urban agenda, an outcome of this extensive preparatory process. It recognizes the needs, but also emphasizes the opportunities that migrants bring by enabling all inhabitants, and I'm quoting, whether living in formal or informal settlements, to lead decent, dignified and rewarding lives and to achieve their full human potential. We particularly welcome paragraph 28, which calls for coherence and cooperation at the various levels, global, regional, national, subnational and local levels, to ensure safe, orderly and regular migration. The new urban agenda recognizes the role of local authorities in ensuring migration policies that are planned and well managed, and calls for support to local authorities in establishing frameworks that enable the positive contribution of migrants to cities and strengthened urban-rural linkages. Those who followed the intergovernmental consultations for the agenda have repeatedly heard governments say that what has worked for one country was not fit for another. One could argue that the process clarified that effective implementation frameworks need to balance credibility or legitimacy with the flexibility to adjust to specific governance systems. This too is something we have heard from speakers this morning. For migration, the starting point for such an implementation framework is, we believe, IOM's Migration Governance Framework, the first and so far only internationally agreed document that outlines the essential elements for governing migration well. The Migration Governance Framework was approved by the IOM Council in November last year through a resolution that encouraged states to use the governance framework to enhance their own governance of migration and mobility with support from IOM. In Quito, IOM will be launching the Migration Toolbox for cities, a set of prioritized recommendations and operational guidelines to build and strengthen cities' migration management. Each city has specific migration patterns and each country its own governance system. The toolbox supports an informed dialogue, provides a comprehensive list of actions to support central, regional and local governments plan for and manage urban migration resilience for the benefit of all inhabitants. Taken together, the recommendations in the toolbox can help ensure that migration is governed in an integrated and holistic way, addressing the needs of mobile people for assistance in the event of an emergency, building harmonious societies, and ensuring opportunities for the economic and social health of the city. The toolbox draws on IOM's approach and expertise and its almost 500 offices around the world in partnership with relevant actors. A draft version will be presented at and shared for consultation with participants ahead of the UCLG Summit in Bogota, which takes place next month just before the Habitat 3 conference. I'd be happy to answer any other questions, but I think I'm now allowed to let you go to lunch. Thank you.
A little time, I think, for discussion if you would like to pursue some issues with yes.
Perdón que me tome nuevamente la palabra, pero yo en relación a
workshop yesterday. I have two questions here for all the participants, among all the layers and the local authorities. Why is it that the migrants have to contribute to the development of the countries? Is it an obligation that they have? And I also would like to ask, what is the role of the state? I know that you have already said that we migrants, it seems that we have become like business, like we're part of the business. With the state, for the government, so they can, we have been converted to business from the country of origin and also the country of destination. So I would like to know, what is the role of the state?
I think it's quite clear that migrants are not likely to invest in their home countries if just out of goodness of their hearts. In fact, a lot of studies have shown that diasporas are much more conscious of the problems of home than other people that are more likely to invest in the country where they're in. I think there was a study of Bangladeshis in the UK which indicated that most Bangladeshis who have acquired resources in the UK would rather invest in the UK where they see their future rather in their home than in their home country. And so it behooves upon the local authorities in the countries of origin to show and to prove that it would indeed be profitable to invest in their countries, in their home communities. And you can make that possible by reducing the cost of migration, reducing the bureaucratic hurdles to migration, to investment. Some countries have developed the idea of so-called angel investors, where you have local experienced entrepreneurs who will provide basic services, knowledge, know-how, and competence to ease the investment and make it possible for somebody who is new in investing at home a certain amount of assurance that they can have a good return on their investment. Anybody else would like to? None? Yes?
Si vous permettez, ce n'est plus le moment.
It's not the moment anymore to look for the money of the migrant, but more over the relationship and their expertise, their skills, and the companioning give them. If I take the case of Morocco, they have the means to make sure there is a sustainable development for integration of migrants. But given the fact that the elected people, given the latest elections, that local management is not easy, they need to know they have people to take care of them, to be accompanied. When they come and they give a model to young people in our country, it's a matter that we don't want. We don't want this diaspora to come back, to be added to all the people who don't have jobs. We want them to be, for example, like Moroccans that have their own their nationalities. They are originally Moroccans, but they're integrated in other countries. And when they come back to home, imagine, what do they feel like? They are called foreigners abroad, and when they come back here, they're foreigners too. Who are they? They are citizens of the world. So that means wherever they are, they can give what they can give and be useful wherever they are, be useful in what country they are. So for a certain time earlier, as I said, just after the independence, those migrants from the first generation especially, they played a great role. Imagine if they didn't participate financially, if we had to go without them, did they regret anything? No, they did not regret anything. It's thanks to them if the majority of the youth people came today and reached that educational level. And this is what makes our strength, solidarity. And when this solidarity happens with a specific goal that is worth, that is very important. So today, most of the countries need to accompany, need their skills, need the expertise of this diaspora, and this is why we need a platform, a national level, and abroad also, and full-hearted, in a full-hearted manner, to show that we're open to other countries, to new generations, as always. And this is how we can give an example. Thank you.
Yes,
Nada más, buenas tardes.
issues and wanting to add to this conversation. When a person goes out of his country looking for a different way, different life, he has the pain in his heart. He brings with him the tears of his mother, his family, and of course, he always have that in mind to go back to that country where he was born. But that migrant has that in mind to go back to the country where he was born. And then, but then he went to another country, that he suffered, and then afterwards everything went well. The thing that he would like to do is to work there, to work well, and then want that others also have the same fate.
I think the restaurant is waiting for us. Yes. What is the Secretariat has to say about?
Thank you, Dr. Abella, Ms. Helke, and to our mayors and city delegates for your active participation in our first session. We will now break for lunch and resume at 2 in the afternoon. So the lunch will be served outside this ballroom. Thank you very much.